Gets me through my morning every day. Every morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adelaide's Jody and Hazy on Nova.
There's a brand new trend, a bit of a plastic surgery. Jode, you're into designer things, aren't you?
If by designer things you mean knockoff designer things, then yes.
Okay, this could be that depending on which doctor you get. There's a brand new designer surgery that is sweeping the world, and it is very specifically tailored to women.
Okay.
Forget about retail therapy. Women are turning from designer bags to designer vaginas to
my
improve
gosh.
their appearance and
This
boost
is-
their mental health, which is scientifically proven to help. Good stuff, guys. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. You're looking quite awkward right now.
What is going
Scratching
on?
the back of her head. I've never seen Jody blush before. This is crazy.
Okay. All right. I'm going to regret asking this question. What, pray tell, does a designer vagina look like?
Great question. Labiaplasty surgery, also known as designer vagina surgery, has been on the rise in recent years, increasing in the US from 217% between 2012 and 2017 and a further 20% between then and now. It's a cosmetic procedure which reshapes the vaginal lips, removing excess tissue with a scalpel or
Please don't ever
laser
say that ever
to
again.
shorten the
Don't
labia
you-
minora. What do all these words mean?
Don't you ever say those words on this show
To become
ever
less
again.
prominent and more in line with the labia major. Who's the major? Who's the minor? Whose role's what?
What is this, a school play?
Is this a play? Who got the lead role? Oh my gosh. So have you guys heard of this before?
I
Is this
have.
an actual thing?
Yeah, I've heard of women doing it. There's whole shows on Netflix about it. As far as the women's body goes, it's not the most attractive part, I wouldn't have thought. But I'm oblivious. Like, what's a good-looking one? What's not a good-looking one?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Well, I mean, you've probably seen more than me, let's be honest.
Well, you would assume so. And then vice versa, I'm sure. Although I've been in football clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually maybe I'm beating you on both fronts there, Jode. I'm not sure that's something I should be claiming. Yeah, right. So what about producer Emily as well, who's on the verge of having her second baby?
Oh, yeah.
And is this the sort of area you go down after you've had a few kids,
Bring me
perhaps?
into this?
Right.
Oh, well, I will say this. My obstetrician, Dr. Darren Roberts, who's the most magnificent man on the planet, said most of his work isn't delivering babies, even though he does that with alarming regularity. It's actually fixing the issues that women have after they've had
What?
the baby.
Yeah, well, you can have issues. Like you can have something called a prolapse,
Yes.
which is frightening.
I know what a prolapse is. Oh, boy.
Oh.
Stay all up in there, please.
But I don't know if you class that as a designer vagina if you're just getting your prolapse fixed.
No, I don't think that. I think that's more like, oh,
It's
God.
essential because otherwise everything's falling out.
What about the stress of it all as well if you're the surgeon?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, never would I be more out of my depth.
Oh, no. How do I make this pretty? I'm not sure.
Gosh, wrong spot. I've done the procedure in the wrong spot. Congratulations.
Yeah.
It's an all-purpose area now, and you're now a chicken.
Big weekend of footy. Yeah. Oh, my very goodness. Obviously disappointing Port Adelaide going down dramatically on Thursday night.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Friday night, 7:10, Adelaide Oval. There is a lot on the line for Port Adelaide. Straight sets exit would be disastrous. The Hawks are absolutely on fire. In saying that, Sam Frost, who's a key defender, he's now out.
Yeah.
Got a bit of a bone stress injury, but Will Day is probably going to come back.
Yeah.
Zach Butters is probably going to play.
Okay.
Subbed off at half-time, cleared of major damage to his ribs.
My husband came up with an interesting fact yesterday for Crows supporters. Over the last, I don't know, I think he said 13 years, the Crows have actually won more finals than Port, despite Port being in, 7-odd final series.
Yes.
The Crows have won like 4 and they've only won 2.
That is technically correct.
Is it? So he was right.
He was right.
I was sceptical, but okay, here we are.
I heard that stat doing the rounds, so
Yeah.
if Greg's trying to tell you that he came up with that, he's lying.
Potentially.
That's all right. It is a true stat.
Yeah, wow.
Which doesn't sit too well with Port Adelaide supporters, let me tell you that.
No. What about the Swans game against GWS?
That was incredibly exciting. How good.
Do you still have a little soft spot for the Swans, despite the fact that you were delisted?
Yeah, absolutely I
Okay.
do. My whole life, all I wanted to do was play for the Swans. And they let me in the door, and then they pushed me out, like, almost immediately.
Yeah, that's so sad.
But I like seeing them do well. I see GWS, after I finished, that would have been my zoned area.
Yeah, right.
So once GWS came into the system, like the sort of Riverina, southern New South Wales, that's GWS's own area now. So if there was any sort of affiliation, I would have had more of a shot of going to GWS.
Yeah, right.
And probably got delisted there.
You would have fit in that. It's a good-looking side, GWS.
It's good, isn't
It
it?
would have been really your wheelhouse.
Isn't Cal Ward just a gorgeous
isn't he
human?
just
Oh
a
my gosh. I don't think he's real, too.
I don't think he's real. He's a bit of a Ken doll, isn't he, Cal?
Yeah, I know. I touched him on the back the other day and I'm pretty sure it was marble. Like he's made and chiseled out of marble. You're like, how's this legal?
Brisbane also had a win up there. What a blistering first quarter.
Oh, gosh. There was almost going to be a stat. They kicked the goal right at the end of the first quarter. Had they not done that, it would have been the first time in VFL, AFL history a side hasn't kicked the goal in the first quarter during the finals.
Wow.
Embarrassing from Carlton.
Yeah, it really was. Oh, well. Let's talk about Nick Kyrgios, please, because he's over there commentating at the US Open at the moment, and there's been calls for him to be sacked over a comment about his ex-girlfriend, Anna Kalinskaya. So basically they dated for a little while. She is now dating world number one Sinner.
Yannick,
Yep. Couldn't remember his first name.
who's quite literally just won the US Open.
Yeah, and hilariously, because I said to you, how do I say Kalinskaya during the break? And you're like, just say it with confidence.
confidence.
And then I proceed to forget the first name of the world number one.
You stumbled on Yannick Sinner.
How am I going? Anyway, so basically someone on Twitter posted an old photo of him and her, and he has written underneath it, second serve.
Am I allowed to laugh here? What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to be
not
offended? Oh, Nick. Oh, Nick. Oh, he's such a pig. Am I right?
and then
Popular opinion, what a pig.
And then everyone's like, oh, you're so vulgar, that's so disrespectful, where's your class, etc. So, yes, here we are.
Here we are. Okay, can I just say this about Nick Kyrgios? I do not want my 6-year-old son imitating Nick Kyrgios and some of his antics.
Yeah.
But as a adult who I feel like I can identify wrong and right, oh my gosh, he's entertaining. He makes me want to watch tennis. I just want to watch Nick Kyrgios because what is he going to do next?
I know.
He's probably going to lose it in some capacity.
And I get that, but there's a bit of a history of disrespect against women. Can you remember when he was playing Stan Wawrinka?
Yes.
And he said to Stan, what time is it? 6:12, I can probably say this. He infamously said to Wawrinka, Kokonakis banged your girlfriend.
Yeah, and that didn't go down well with Stan.
It didn't go down well with Stan.
No.
Because obviously there was a bit of a history between Kokonakis and Donna Vekic. I also said that with confidence, even though I've got no idea.
Yeah, that's okay. Remember when he said this about a drunk woman during one of the majors? About 700 drinks, bro.
That woman looks like she's had 700 drinks, bro.
700 drinks, bro. You're not getting that from Alex Dimon, are you?
No, you're certainly not.
12 minutes past 6, 6:15 vending machine quiz. First question is coming up very soon. What about this as well? I still can't get my head around it. 5-course dinner at Kingsford, the Bross's Orleana restaurant. La-dee-da. Valued at over $600.
I was a bit late on the la-dee-da there.
La-dee-da.
La-dee-da.
You could win that as well as a double pass to the Valo Adelaide 500 Saturday after race concert series. Very reasonable question coming up next.
Now that's a joke.
That was a joke.
That's a joke. A joke. That's a terrible joke.
Hook it up to my veins. Bit of humour just to kickstart us and veer off into a good direction.
Okay. Come here. Give me your arm. I'll inject you.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, okay. Don't be a baby about it.
Blood everywhere now.
You wanted it.
That's fine. That's true. New recruit too, by the way.
Yeah.
Welcome to the stage, producer Zoe.
Thank you. Great to be here.
I hope you're nervous.
I'm actually so nervous.
Should be really
This is a
nervous.
really scary space.
It is a really scary space. And what's even scarier is trying to relax and deliver humour.
Yeah.
Stand-up comedians, oh boy, they do a good job.
Oh, that is the one job in the world where I go, I don't know how you do it.
Probably why they're always under the influence of something,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the majority of them.
mostly.
All right, here
All
we
right,
go, Zoe. Kick us off. What do you got?
All right. Which bear is the most condescending?
Which bear is the most condescending?
A panda.
What a tricky start.
I feel like I could have said anything and I would have got this reaction.
No. What a shame.
Okay.
What a shame.
That's all right.
Go on then. What have you got,
It's
Andrew?
such a shame, isn't it?
Yeah.
Suck.
Oh, okay. Sorry
Go on
about
then, go
that,
on then,
Joe.
hot
Joe,
shot.
sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Sauce.
Should I try and get us back on track?
All right,
Oh, look,
come
I'll
on.
do my best.
Come on.
The lady janitor in my office building asked if I would hang out with her and smoke a joint.
Whoa.
Are you serious? I told her no, I can't deal with high maintenance women. Oh my God. That's how you do it, Zoe.
Sure, that was good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Take some notes here, producers. That one.
Okay.
Okay, you ready for mine?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, a man walks into a bar in the Outback and he sees a sign that says complete 3 tasks and you win $1 million.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. So the man says to the bartender, well, is that true? What do I need to do to win $1 million? He says, yes, indeed it is. He's like, great, hit me. So the bartender says the first task is, see that man down there at the end of the bar, big, large, heavy-set man. You have to knock him out, and you have to knock him out with one punch.
Oh, wow.
Okay, first task.
Aggressive.
The second task you have to do is there's a 12-foot croc out the back with a very sore tooth. You're going to have to wrestle it and pull out the tooth.
Oh, they're very sensitive crocs.
I know, they can be in that space, can't they? The third task is there's an 89-year-old woman upstairs who wants to get lucky before she dies. Fair call. I mean, we all want to go out that way, don't we, Andrew?
Sure.
So the man says, righto, I'm going to have a crack at it. He has 10 shots back to back. Bang, 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 bang. One after the other. Gets up, off his stool, walks over to the man at the end of the bar. Bang! Knocks him out with one punch.
Whoa.
Whoa. First task done. Then he charges out the back of the pub and there's a commotion for about 10 minutes and he comes inside and he's all bruised and battered and he goes, all right, that's done. Where's the old lady with the bad tooth?
I get it. Oh, no. With the crocodile. That's how you do it, producer Zoe. That's how you do it. Learn from the best.
All right, notes taken.
Jodes, you know me.
Oh, yeah.
You know that I love a strange and bizarre law. And if it's in this country or beyond, it doesn't matter. For example, in South Australia, it's an offence to sell a refrigerator with a capacity of 42.5 litres or more unless all of the doors can be easily opened from the inside or it was brought into the state before 1962. We know that.
What?
That is something that we know when we purchase refrigerators. And the reason being is that before 1962, apparently a lot of people in SA used to get trapped in refrigerators.
Really?
So it's got to be easily able to get out of.
I mean,
Isn't that random?
yeah. Why are they climbing in?
I don't know. Hot? I don't know.
right.
This is crazy.
I want a Zupa Duper and it's right down the bottom and now I'm stuck. What?
Now I'm stuck. Boop, now I'm dead. Death by fridge. We need to stop this, South Australians.
Yes.
We need to do something.
Who put that law? Who put that bill to Parliament? And how did it get passed?
Rob Refrigerowski. I'm not sure. Some of the US state laws, though, are even bigger than some of these. Like, they're even more fascinating.
Yeah, right.
What about this? We'll just go around the grounds over in the States. In Kentucky,
Yep.
every citizen is required to shower at least once a year. Don't mind that. You can't go a full year without showering, okay? As much as you'd like to.
That is how. How do they even regulate that?
I
Though?
don't know. I don't know. Is it a smell test? Do they swab you? Who knows?
Knock, knock, knock. Open up, police!
Please.
Bill, you smell rancid.
We
When
can
was the
smell
last
you
time
from
we
a
had
K away.
a shower?
In Florida, it's illegal to sing in public while wearing a swimsuit. That
What?
can be very intimidating. I'm not sure. Don't know the reasons.
Okay.
Indiana, moustaches are illegal if the bearer has a tendency to habitually kiss other humans. Because once you're wearing a moustache, it's an injection of confidence.
Especially one of those twirly ones.
Yeah.
You know?
You just assume that everyone wants to kiss you. Not so, particularly in Indiana.
If a man approached me with one of those twirly moustaches,
You're on.
no,
No, but-
quite the opposite.
You're on.
No, quite the opposite.
Oh, right.
I don't want to bash him.
You'd run, okay. Iowa, a one-armed piano player must by law perform for free. Don't you dare try and charge for a show. That is ridiculous. It's not worth it unless you do the dun 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 dun. It only takes one finger, let alone one arm. This is going to affect you, Jodes. Oklahoma, it's forbidden to take a bite out of another person's hamburger.
Well, lock me up and throw away the key.
You're getting fined. And for those who are just tuning in for the first time, we've got a producer. Her name's Emily. She spent some time in the States.
Yeah, no
and
way.
It's a massive flex, like a huge flex.
Yeah, every opportunity. When I lived in the States, oh, really, Doug? You lived over there for a bit.
Specifically Minnesota.
Minnesota,
when
go
I was in Minnesota,
Vikings.
they do things a little bit different over there. Go Vikings! Did you know this, producer Emily? In Minnesota, it's illegal to cross state lines with a duck on your head.
Of course I knew that. I know everything about Minnesota. Also, the Vikings won today, so go Vikings.
Excellent.
But another bizarre one that I actually found out before I went over there was it is illegal to smoke underwater in Minnesota. You are
Really?
not allowed to smoke a cigarette while you're underwater.
Oh, now what do we do now? What else do you do in Minnesota?
Oh, God. Well, I mean, it's fortunate that you knew that because you're heavily pregnant and the woman loves to suck back a durry, doesn't
true.
she?
That
Pack a
is
day.
Jodes, this is fantastic news. The 100 is returning with Andy Lee for season 7, Tuesday, September 10 at 8:45 on Channel 9 and 9 Now. And I am absolutely delighted to say that the wonderful, beautiful and flawless Andy Lee joins us right now. Good morning to you, Andy.
Hey guys, how are you?
We're
Guess
good.
tomorrow night we're back.
Tomorrow night. That's 7 seasons, you old duster. Look at you go.
I don't know much more surprised than I am. But I guess, look, to be honest, it's a show about Australia and Australians, so we just love hearing about ourselves. I put it down to the success, nothing to do with what I'm doing.
Well, Andy, and just on that, like, did you, when it first came to, did you expect this sort of success? Because clearly it is, I mean, it's connecting with Australia. That must be really satisfying.
Yeah, I mean, you hope, of course, but you never know, and it's tough, particularly with the way TV is going at this stage. So we're chuffed and we'll hang on for dear life. But yeah, Tom Gleeson's on tomorrow night with Sophie Monk, Mike Goldstein, and we're covering up a lot of topics. Secrets, we'll find all the stats on secrets within Australia, and workmates.
Ooh.
So you guys can look at each other right now.
Yeah.
And in fact, I'm going to throw a few questions at you and see if you guys can get them.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
go
mate.
on then.
Okay. What % of Australians think they're closer to a colleague than their own partner?
Oh, that's hard.
Who goes first, Jodes? You go
Wait,
first.
you go first. This is so awkward.
What percentage? Well, surely it would be low. 12%.
No, I reckon more than that, Andy. I mean,
What do you,
this is hard because, like, it's a different kind of relationship with your colleagues at work, right, Andy? Like, it's not saying one's
Yeah.
better or worse.
and you're not really meant to sleep with the colleagues.
technically.
There's a line.
I'm going to say 38.
Oh, you said 15, did you, Hazy?
I said 12, yeah. 12 to 15.
said 12, 38. It's 23%, so I think you just win, Hazy.
Oh, there we go. I'll take that.
Oh,
That's a small.
had to do maths quickly in the morning, which is not great for me. All right, do another one.
Yes, please.
What % of Australians hate it when a dog is brought into the office?
Oh,
This is
Wow.
controversial because whoever's got the dog
Yeah.
thinks that they are the absolute
cutest thing in the world.
office hero just for a
Absolutely.
second.
Yeah. So before I got a dog, Andy, and I think you might be on the same page with your little Henry as me because I don't think you were a dog person before, but now I see on your Instagram you are riding around on a bike with your dog in your backpack. So haven't you turned?
Yes, I bought a specialised backpack to take Henry to the beach on my bike. Yes, things have changed
That's
for
not
me
you.
because I was one of the big ones to ban all dogs from our workplace. I was running it like a tyrant.
Yeah.
I'd actually, do DNA tests of anyone coming in just in case it was a human, but the dog pretending to be a human on the way in just to make sure
Yeah.
there were no dogs anywhere near our workplace. I'm different now, that's true. But what do you reckon where Australia thinks?
I don't know. I used to hate it when we had a colleague who used to bring one into Channel 10 and I used to hate it so much. But now that I'm a dog person, I'm going to say, so what was the question? How many people hate it? What percentage of
Yep.
people hate it? I'm going to say 32.
I'm going to say 33%.
Oh, you're it.
I'm going to say, I think it's low. I'm going to say 21%.
30%. It's a straight sets victory. Oh, no, it isn't. It was one each.
No, it's one each.
Okay, we need a tiebreaker then.
Sure.
Here we go.
All right. I'm going to change to secrets as the topic, away from work, mate.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
What % of Australians regularly look up their ex-partners?
Oh.
Fine.
I'm going to go first. I'm going to say 103%. I think it's. I would think that it's.
Pretty high.
Yeah, I'm going to say 60. I was going to say 69, but that's a ridiculous number to go with. I'm going to say 71%.
All right, well, I'm going to go higher than that. I'm going to say 89%.
Well, we learn a lot about you two. It's 31%.
Oh, dear.
And you guys can explain that to your partners when you get home.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Andy Lee has got us in trouble once
Yeah.
again.
I know we've got to let you go, Andy Lee. You're a busy man this morning, but can I ask you a question? What percentage of Carlton supporters turned off their television halfway through the first quarter against Brisbane?
103%.
Well, for those of us that were there, like me, it was tough to turn off the television because it's connected to the big screen on the ground. Yeah, plenty. It was a very quiet flight home from Brisbane to Melbourne.
Oh, no. Am I right? Did someone decorate your hotel room in Brisbane?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
yeah. I even arrived and my hotel was fully decked out in Brisbane Lions gear, including a card from the CEO. So I'd planned to go back and throw all that stuff in the bathtub and put the tap on and post a video about how triumphant Carlton were.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the Carlton winning part didn't eventuate, so it turned into a bit of a sadder affair.
Oh, I'm sorry to mention the war.
As we always say with Carlton, though, Andy, as we always say with the Blues, next year's the year.
Yeah, don't we, Jeff?
Hey, Andy, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations once again.
Cheers, guys. Appreciate it.
There you go, Andy Lee. It's back. The 100 tomorrow night, 8:45 on Channel 9 and 9 Now as well. So there you go. That's all the Carlton supporters out there. Why do you do it to
Oh,
yourself?
no. I'm just going to go back to stalking my ex on Instagram. How long have I got?
Wasn't that a stitch up? Oh, wow. 13, 24, 10 secret celebrity crushes. You want to talk about James Packer jokes?
Okay.
Just kidding.
Okay, that's...
He's an interesting fella, though.
Well, I was absolutely glued to the telly last night because he did a one-on-one interview for Spotlight, and it was incredible. It was unbelievably revealing, and he admitted that the reason he was doing it was to open up about mental health. Robbie Williams joined him in the chat as well because they've got a close friendship. Because
saw that coming, by the way?
No, because they've got they're sort of bonding over their mutual depression, I guess. But good on him for opening up about it. I did not realise how miserable this man was.
Yeah.
So he's a billionaire. There's no question about that. He's 56 years old and he spoke about his mental health. He was diagnosed with bipolar in 2020. He said in 2022, doctors administered lithium, which turned him into an absolute zombie.
So what does lithium do? I mean, that's a question without notice, but I've never heard that as a medication for mental health.
I'm not sure if you knew this about me, but I'm not a psychiatrist.
Right.
Therefore, I couldn't really tell you what lithium does.
Okay.
However, he said it turned him just into a complete and utter space cadet.
Yeah, right.
It was an incredibly candid and frank sort of interview, and he touched on his 2 divorces. So he was obviously married, I think, to Jodie Mears and then Erica. And he spoke about his regret that he wasn't the best man that he could have been when he was married to those 2 women. So there was obviously a lot of sadness there, you could tell. But he also spoke about one of the worst times in his life, and that's when he was in a relationship with Mariah Carey. Have a listen.
Tossed out of China or something had gone wrong. You know, I had people arrested in China. I was caught up in charges in Israel with, Netanyahu. And that same week literally was the week that it came out that I was engaged to Mariah Carey for a while, and that same week it came out that Mariah and I had broken up, and she thought I'd planted a story in a magazine about it, which I hadn't, that made her look bad.
It was a train wreck.
It was a train wreck.
An absolute train wreck. At what stage during that relationship did James hear this?
Hey, I'm Mariah Carey, and I just want to
Start
wish
of All I Want for Christmas,
Oh,
and
yeah.
go, enough is enough.
I can't be in a relationship
can't
with
do
you.
this anymore.
No. Have you ever seen did like a documentary on Mariah Carey, and he featured in it, and he looked like a bit of a pig in it. Like he just rocked up to a dinner, didn't talk to anyone, and then left.
Right.
And that was shortly.
He'd had enough.
He'd had enough.
Same with Ben Affleck in
Yeah.
J-Lo Files.
Oh, no.
And she's like, show some life.
I know. Well, it was also the same with Katy Perry in her documentary when basically Russell Brand split up with her right before she was about to go on stage.
That was unbelievable. She's walking on a stage and then goes, right, I've got to click my fingers, turn it on and perform to 100,000 people.
The age-old question, though, can money buy you happiness? He answered that last night. So he basically said, look, I have had this depression, but I would rather be wealthy while I'm trying to tackle the depression. Have a listen.
Money is not a guarantee of happiness, but neither is poverty. Neither is poverty. You know, I would prefer to be rich and unhappy than to try and be poor and unhappy.
He says from his yacht in French Polynesia.
So he's like, so what he's saying is, I'm going to be unhappy either way. I'd rather be rich and unhappy.
He will, absolutely.
That makes a lot of sense,
So
doesn't
then
it?
Robbie Williams sort of chipped in and said, look, depression will find you anywhere. It doesn't matter if you live in a crack shack in Stoke-on-Trent, which is one of the poorer areas in England, or you live in a mansion. If you're depressed, you're depressed.
Yeah, 100%. So I think what we do, just to get a little bit serious, like 100%, and I'm doing it now. I'm pushing 40, and I've just seen so many things where, like, stop thinking about the future and how much better things might be if little things fall into place. Because I guarantee you'll look back and be like, oh, that time in 2024 when I was 39 years old and the kids were doing this and that, that was such a beautiful time.
Yeah.
Like, it's all about living in the moment, things like that.
Yeah,
But-
it's gratitude, isn't it?
But you hear these stories like this, recollection stories, and go, you just need to start living in the moment.
Well, and also happy that you can feel happiness because so many people, it just doesn't come naturally.
Yeah,
So, you know.
100%. Also, don't date Mariah Carey because she's batshit crazy.
I really need a chit chat.
Let's have a chit chat.
It is so time for a chit chat.
Let's go, girls.
What's up, sexy chicks?
Oh, God.
I mean, Nick Kyrgios is copping it today for being a bit of a misogynist. Akon has a lot to answer for with the lyrics of that song.
What about your mate as well, as you like to call him, David Guetta, getting on board with that song as well?
No.
Come on, Davey.
Bit disappointing. All right, Chick Chat. This is basically it's all the stuff we talk about off air, and we're like, you know what, screw it, let's talk about it on air. Producer Zoe joins us this morning, and what about this for a new study? It claims that happy couples are less likely to post their partner on social media. Okay, so basically, the results found that those who share 3 or more couple selfies per week are allegedly 128% unhappier than their more discreet counterparts. Round of applause. Come on.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, and it gets worse. Only 10% of selfie-crazed couples considered themselves very happy. Meanwhile, 46% of couples who are more private on social media said they were much happier. So the moral of this story is if you post every second day about you and your partner, maybe you're hiding a little secret. Maybe you're not that happy.
Yeah, overkill much.
Yeah.
Who's posting 3 times a week anyway?
Of
let
their
alone of your
partner.
partner.
No.
Jeez.
Well, what if you're just not very good at social media? So I had a few beers on Friday night,
Oh,
caught
here
up
we
with a
go.
couple of
I
mates.
saw
Yeah.
that story. I was
Yeah.
impressed.
You know my old mate Sperry.
Yeah.
When
You-
me
when you and
Sperry
Sperry get together. Yeah.
we solve a lot of problems. And then my wife was like, bit of an overdue with the social media. I'm like, what are you talking about? I just posted a story. She's like, no, you posted an actual post, a story, and a reel of the same thing. She's like, how is that even possible? I'm like, I was just trying to put a story up.
Oh, wait, so you're posting that of your mate Sperry. I'm just on your social media right now, and the last time you posted a photo of you and Cara was back in Christmas of last year. So what's that? That's
last year. That's
9 months ago.
It's months ago.
Over 9 months ago, and yet you can do 3 things on Sperry on a Friday night. Wow. Jesus.
Oh, I'm just not very good at social media, but yeah, you should see Cara's.
What?
I'm rarely in there as well.
No, okay.
Probably once every 6 months. It's all full of her cute children, who are also mine.
Okay, but let me just have a look. There's 1, 2, 3. There's at least 15 footy stories on your Instagram, and
They're
one
collaborations.
and one of you on a diving board
they're
in your
collaborations.
speedos.
Oh, my
So
God.
you'd rather post a semi-nude photo of yourself than acknowledge your beautiful wife, Cara. You're disgusting.
Pretty much. Oh my God, I'm the pig now.
Yeah.
Classic.
I feel like it's different when you're married. I think the social media expectations change when you're married. But
Yeah.
if you're my age, if it's reasonably new, if you're, heading towards engagement, blah, 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 then it's a bit different. It's almost like a proving that you're together by posting online.
Well, and you
sort of
also
thing.
have to have the added complication of a launch, don't you? Or a
So
relationship.
true.
You
Just
do a
ask
hard
our
launch,
friend
a
Dan
soft
Houston,
launch.
who's had like 6 launches of a
Six
girlfriend.
hard
Yeah.
launches.
Different
100%.
stages, different
Yeah,
stages,
different
platforms.
launches.
Yeah.
But I talk about this with my girlfriends a fair bit because there's a girl that we know and we think it's a major red flag that her partner never posts her ever.
Oh.
So I
Yeah,
think
well,
there's
he's
got to
hiding
be a
her.
balance. Yes. So regularly they'll go on holiday and she'll post a photo of him on the beach.
Yep.
And then he'll post a photo of the beach. like not her. Or like she'll post a photo of them out to dinner and he'll post a photo of his dinner, not of her at dinner.
Wow.
And I think you're actively hiding her at that point. You're trying to appear single, and that's a red
It's
flag.
particularly insulting if you want to put up a photo of your lobster bisque as opposed to your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, ouch.
I think there's got to be a bit of a balance. If you're posting all the time, you're probably overcompensating for something. If you're never posting, you are trying to appear single.
Yeah. I also agree. What the hell's a lobster bisque? Who knows? Who knows?
If I was really mean, I'd get you to spell bisque. Right now. But
I think I actually know that. It's a BISQUE. I don't know that.
I don't know. Where'd you pull that from? 132410, please get involved in this. Is it a red flag if you don't post about your partner? Or is it a red flag if you post too much about your partner? Where do you sit?
Give us some advice.
Good morning, Wade.
Good morning.
Where do you sit with it, Wade?
So I have to agree with what you were saying. Like, I think if you post too much, that's definitely a bit of a red flag. Obviously, it's not always the case, but for most cases, I think so. But and like someone on there said before, if you don't post at all, it's kind of like you're trying to remain single. I've just recently started seeing a girl, and it's very new at the moment, so we haven't really posted on social media. But there's a meme that gets around that says, "Oh, if I won the lottery." I wouldn't say anything, but there'll be signs. And for me, it's kind of the same thing. So like on both of our social medias, it says we're in a relationship, but it doesn't say who with. And you know, we tag each other in things like competitions and things like that where you've got to tag your best friend or something like that.
Oh, just subtle ways.
Little ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to, particularly starting out, to do it.
There's
you, Wade.
signs. No more poking. No more poking, Wade,
No
on
one's
Facebook.
poking.
No one's poking.
You are the
No
only
one has
person
poked
poking.
Since 2001.
You are
I
the
did
only
a lot of
poker.
poking in 2010.
Did you?
Oh, it was an absolute poke fest. And then it's come back.
Well,
Like poking on Facebook
No,
has
it
come
hasn't.
back.
No,
Yes,
it
is.
hasn't.
No, it's a feature now.
No.
It's a feature.
Yeah, but no one is using it except
one's
Andrew Hayes.
doing
No,
it.
I haven't been on Facebook
also-
since 2010.
But also, excuse me, what sort of response did you want to garner when you poke someone?
I don't
come
know.
on. We know what it is.
Don't poke me. Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's just an odd thing to do.
I don't know. It was like trying to be flirtatious.
Andrew Hayes poked you. Yeah, cool. Now what? Good morning, Ali.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good, thank you. Okay, how much is not enough or vice versa? Do you think people who post a lot on social media are actually happy?
No, very definitively no. A friend of mine posts her fiance almost daily and says to me, yeah, he's not the most attractive and he's kind of boring, but like he's okay.
Oh, so that's even faker than usual, Ali. So
I know.
Social media can be an absolute haven for what people want their lives to be. And you
Brutal.
want people to think that you're killing it and you're happy. And that's a prime example of someone not being happy behind the scenes.
Happy people don't tell people how happy they are.
Very true,
that's
George.
true.
You
They
know?
just go out there and they live it. You
Yeah.
know? Carpe diem, ladies and gentlemen.
Anyway.
Anyway, thank you, Ali. Good morning to you, Belle.
Good morning.
Morning, Belle. Okay, social media, where do you sit? Is it a red flag if people don't post enough or too much?
Okay, the red flag is if they don't have Facebook at all.
Yeah.
My ex-husband didn't have Facebook and he was banging half Adelaide.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
So, Belle, I mean, did you find out that this was a massive red flag afterwards? Did you have suspicions during? What happened?
Oh.
No, suspicious. He was just really good at lying. But I was like, seriously, no Facebook. I'd have loved to have him post photos of me because then at least then girls would have known.
Would have known he actually wasn't as single as he was behaving.
Bella's surprisingly upbeat about this.
Yes. Belle,
Ex-husband.
Oh, God.
Belle, at this stage, I can't work out if you're so happy because you're divorced from him or you're just completely unhinged. I don't know.
I am grateful.
Yeah, good on you, Belle.
Oh,
Good on you, Belle.
love Belle.
And a big shout out to all the Bells. Love that energy.
Oh, I thought you were going to a big shout out to all the women.
full night's sleep uninterrupted.
Be nice, wouldn't it?
Oh, sleep deprivation is so bad for you. So they've had a study which has been published in the Brain, Behaviour and Immunity, summarised in Science Daily. How good's Science Daily, by the way? What a read.
Were you just perusing it over the weekend? Like in between watching the footy?
Oh, for goodness sake. Sometimes Cara's like, can you just put down the Science Daily and watch some football?
I know.
For goodness sake, people need to support this thing.
I know, exactly.
So they investigated the impact of poor sleep on cardiovascular health, focusing on gender differences. The research involved 210 middle-aged men and women who were otherwise healthy and did not have sleep disorders to take daily medications. Here's the findings, Jodes.
Go on.
Poor sleep was found to be more detrimental to women's health than men's.
Yeah.
Despite similar sleep quality ratings, women exhibited higher levels of psychological distress and biomarkers associated with heart disease and type 2 diabetes.
Well, they actually say that if you don't get enough sleep, it shortens your life. So I am cooked.
Yeah. But that's crazy. So why it's so much worse for women than it is for men?
Did you hear what I just said? I could drop dead at any moment because I haven't had sleep since forever.
Zoe. Women who reported poor sleep experienced high levels of hostility.
Yep.
That's you. Depression and anger compared to men. This psychological distress was more pronounced in women.
Are you trying to tell me that you handle sleep deprivation well? Don't clap yourself. Don't clap yourself, man.
Well, I don't know if it's sleep deprivation or other things. Remember the time that it was a Thursday and I got a bit excited for State of Origin?
Yes. Yeah.
See, that's sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
I felt like I handled myself with a plum.
No. Getting up 4 times a night to your children and or dog, that's sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
That was self-inflicted with you and Spurry, who seems to be a very bad influence in your life, by the
How
way.
good Sperry.
No. I
look at my wife sometimes
Yeah.
and she'd be like, how'd you sleep last night? I'm like, well, I actually had to wake up in the middle of the night to go do a wee. And she will tell me how she got up every 7 minutes.
Yep.
To a screaming baby. And she's got this weird thing where her eyes are all bloodshot and one of them's twitching.
Yep.
And she's kind of got a bit of drool coming out the side of the mouth and she's not really making much sense. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Yeah, and I bet she says, I'm so sorry, Hazy, you had to get up 17 times to wee last night because you had, too many beers. And I warned you that if you have another beer, you'll be up every,
Yeah.
to do a wee.
Like the other night when she's like, don't you dare have a second cup of tea.
No.
You'll be up all night doing wees. And I was like, I can do what I want. I'm a grown man. Had the second cup, weeing all night.
Do you know my husband, I love him, but he's such an oblivious man. How long have I been doing breakfast radio? About 15 years, you reckon?
Yeah, this is, I
Probably
think,
a
it's
bit
your
more.
15th year.
Yeah, and I've had, 3 children during that process. And he will still, at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, when I'm grumpy, look at me and go, what's wrong with you?
Oh my gosh. And I feel like you'd be consistent in that space. What do you say to him?
I say I'm dead, I'm deceased. Walk away while you're still alive.
Oh, it's Jodie and Hazy. We love it. Let's talk Nick Kyrgios.
I'm going to put these words together and see if they resonate. Nick Kyrgios, controversy.
Oh, it just goes together like peas and carrots.
Okay, so Nick Kyrgios has been accused of making misogynistic, wildly inappropriate comments about women's tennis star and his ex-girlfriend, Anna Kalinskaya. Did I say that right?
I think you did.
She's now dating world number 1 Yannick Sinner. Someone posted a photo of the two of them back in the day when they were dating. He has written underneath, second serve.
Okay, I don't know what to do in this situation. Am I supposed to laugh, cry, be offended? Do I give him some of these? One of these? Not really sure.
Yeah, I think, there's a bit of controversy surrounding Sinner because he obviously had a doping violation at the Olympics, the Italian. And so I think Kyrgios has been quite vocal in his criticism of him. And then everyone got really mad on X, which is so unusual. And he wrote, don't you think it's hilarious how quickly people get triggered with a couple of words or emojis? Too much power, he wrote, with laughing emojis. And then he sort of did the snoring emoji too, like, I'm bored with this. I'm bored with the world hating on me.
Oh, he's got so much attitude. I've said this for so many years now. I've got a youngster, 6 years old.
Yep.
I don't want him doing what Nick Kyrgios is doing.
No.
I don't want him behaving in any sort of sports arena at any level, doing those sorts of things.
Well, he's a brat.
But you better believe I'm watching Nick Kyrgios and everything he does,
Yep.
every single second that he is in a public profile, he is just he's polarizing, but I love it.
Yeah. My friend approached him in Melbourne, saw him in Melbourne, and she went up to him and asked for a photo, and she said he could not have been less bothered, and he barely uttered hello, took the photo, did not smile in the photo, and then walked away without saying goodbye. She was so underwhelmed by Nick Kyrgios.
He's consistently inconsistent. We love that.
What about the story about that Thanasi told when he was approached by a fan in the States?
Yes, there was a podcast that Thanasi was on saying that a fan approached him and was like, "Oh my God, it's Nick Kyrgios." And then straight away in a situation like that, you might expect someone to be like, "Oh, hey mate, how you going?
How
Nice
you
to meet
doing?"
you. Do you want a photo?"
That's what Pat Rafter would do.
Apparently Nick Kyrgios responded with mocking the bloke, going, "Oh my God, it's Nick Kyrgios." And then the American bloke turned back to him, the fan, and said, "See, that's why people don't like you." And you can imagine just how little Nick cared being told that.
I know. I mean, he is who he is, and I applaud that. Like, he doesn't give a rat's what people think, but he just has a bit of a history of being a little bit disrespectful to women. Can you remember what he said to Stan Wawrinka? I can't even repeat it when he was talking about Stan's new girlfriend possibly having history with Kokkinakis' ex.
Right. Well, we certainly don't endorse that behaviour.
No.
But the carry on, particularly on court, when he's interacting with the crowd and things like that, very, very entertaining
It's
for me.
entertaining, if nothing else. Remember when he said to that girl at Wimbledon, remember when he said she was tanked in
Yeah,
the
she was
crowd?
absolutely blind.
Yeah.
Here it is.
There's a lady dressed with the one that looks like she's had about 700 drinks, bro.
She's had about 700 drinks, bro. Nice respect to the referee as well, calling the referee bro.
Bro, yeah. Oh, well, he is who he is.